Next, we have a community member who is willing to participate in this program. His name is Jerry Fennelly, and we are so happy to have him here. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm totally impressed by the speakers today. Great job. Everyone did fantastic. I'm usually up speaking about corporate real estate or future of real estate, but today I'm going to talk about what we all have learned about, which is brain injuries. So the question I ask is, do we lead with our heads? And the answer is we probably do. So June 12th, 2012, I suffered an accident doing what I loved to do for the past 30 years. I was a racer. I raced, I ran, I biked, and I swam, and I raced constantly. I took a bad hit to the head, and yes, I was wearing a helmet. Saved my life. I was helicoptered out of Long Beach Island to Jersey Shore Hospital, so I met Jersey Shore Hospital, into surgery in an hour and 15 minutes. It saved my life. And the speed of the surgery made my recovery much faster. I was placed into a coma, typical. My wife arrived at the hospital, asked my wife a question. Ask her about the angels. Ask about the angels. My wife became an expert in my recovery. I promise I won't cry. Does anybody cry? Yeah. 24 hours later, she made the critical decision to evac me to Capital Health in Trenton to their new brain injury unit. We knew by now that I would live. But the team at Capital Health offered new techniques and a recovery plan that was best for my injury. 2 weeks to follow in rehab, where I felt the greatest hope. Lights, motor, brain, energy, all turned on. I was lucky. Turned on. I was in the hospital. I realized quickly that I was in a sprint. I was not in a sprint. I was in a marathon. And during the hospitalization, you know when you're recovering when you start watching CNN. Does anybody watch CNN? Yeah. I saw a report on CNN about the baby boomer generation doing what we love and getting killed or blown up doing it. That was me. I lived it. So I asked the question, I said, what is it we're doing wrong and what's happening? And when we turn 50, and this is the baby boomer generation doing it now, they turn 65, we're acting like we're 30. Our brains did change, and they do change every day. I'm not saying dramatically, but they change. So there's the possibility of technical errors that do occur. So during my rehab, I had to make decisions. And I basically had two options. I lay back or I come back. I wanted to come back. So let me talk about energy. All my life I had to engage and deal with my energy, my own energy. It's a problem. When you have too much energy, you have to do something with it. And what I did, sports. I ran, biked, swam for 30 years straight. I raced two races a weekend. 20 races, 25 Ks a year, 12 sprint tries a year, guaranteed. I was there to win. I was there to win. I was there to compete. And working, racing, and family took care of my energy problem. So the question is, does the brain change after 50? Yes, it does. It does change after 50. So technical errors do increase. We have to think about technical errors, because that's what happened to me. I made technical error, almost killed me. The technical error I made that day, and this is now racing for 30 years, is I didn't warm up in the bike or the run. I warmed up in the swim, and I was so confident that I didn't have to warm up. And I was going to win that day. I was going to race and win. And I started, I actually got to the front line. I lined up. I said to myself, I'm not going to die today. That's how confident I was. It's a mistake. It was a mistake. A year prior in the Mercer County Triathlon, I was kicked in the head during the swim, knocked out, sank to the bottom of the lake, woke up, said, oh, I'm dying. I better swim to the top. I swam to the top. I finished the race. That year I did 11 more sprint triathlons. So I was competing. I kept competing. The mistake I made that day in Long Beach Island, I didn't carefully monitor the race conditions. I didn't think about the wind, which put me down. There were obstacles on the course which people put on the course. They put cones on the course. The second technical mistake I made was when a wind gust hit the back of my tire. I looked back in that moment and the bike moved to the right and hit a traffic cone at full speed. More of the story, don't look back, look forward. Keep saying that a lot. Don't look back, look forward. So several things I covered today. Understand your own energy level, but appreciate your limitations. You don't have to stop doing what you did or did before, but you have to gauge your capabilities and accept them. Second thing, take the appropriate precautions. Avoid technical errors. Don't assume just because you've been doing something for a long time that you don't have to stop, look, and listen. Every day, I got to stop and think about what I'm doing. I got to do it. And third, don't look back. The future is here and it's bright. Make the comeback the best you can. Brain injury recovers lead to a new place and a new normal. Accepting a new normal is step one. Adjusting your life to your new normal is step two. And creating new success and achieving new goals is step three. I may not sprint as much anymore, but marathons can be a good thing too. There's a new path for me. I'm not going to cry. There's a new path for me and one that I have made work in my life. Thank you.